Welcome to my video on cognitive soccer coaching. Today I'm going to go through a number of different training exercises that will challenge your players and will force them to come up with solutions to problems in the training exercise, therefore increasing their game intelligence. So if you look at this first exercise, it's 6v6 plus 1. All we've done is drawn a line down the middle and we have two small-sided goals on each end. So here's the first variation. You have the players start playing, and what you could do is say minimum 4 passes before you could cross the line. Once you make your 4 passes, the ball crossed the line, the whole team could go into the other half and try to score. Works on getting the ball out under intense pressure. Second, you could say, don't worry about the line. The only way you could score is if the whole team is over the line, so don't worry about the 4 passes. The next way that you could play this is 4 players minimum have to be over and 2 players need to stay back, and that way it always has attacking support when you're playing. All that is just different variations using that one line down the middle. Now all we've done in this second variation is we've added a few more lines, so we made kind of 9 little individual squares. And what you can do in this is you say you cannot play the ball more than 2 times in an individual square. That third pass has to come out of one of those 9 squares. What it makes you do is it makes the team spread out, and it makes ball circulation much quicker, because now you can't have that ball in a little square for 4 or 5 passes. The third pass has to come out. So this actually encourages the players to move the ball very quickly. Now if you wanted them to work on shorter range passing, you could say you have to create 3 passes minimum before the ball comes out, and now they're going to have more support in each one of those small squares. Now what we've done is we've taken the lines out, and we're simply going to add the first rule, no square passes. So now every ball has to be on an angle. Next, the second rule we're going to add after the players get that is no forward passing that is straight. So now you have no square passing and no forward passing. So now we're creating an overload. And this becomes very difficult. So now players need to know they need to support each other forward on angles and backwards on angles because there's no square passing. The next thing that we can add is backwards passing has to be 1 touch. So now no square passing, backwards passing 1 touch, and forward passing only on angles. The fourth is you say 2 touch maximum for going forward. So now it makes it more difficult. And that's how you use overloads in a training game like that. Now we keep basically the same setup, and you can see now we just added 2 end zones on either side. So you can use the same principles of the 9 squares. Maybe the third pass has to come out of the square. If you want to focus on short possession, it's going to be mandatory 3 passes in each square before it comes out. In order to score, you have to play it over the line in an end zone for a player to run onto and stop. And now it changes the whole defensive strategy of the game, because now the players don't have to cover a small goal. They have to cover an entire end zone. And from an attacking strategy, they can think differently now, because now they're not trying to score on 2 little small goals. They have an entire end line to score on, and of course you can make touch restrictions and change the condition and rules as much as you want. Now look, we still have that basic setup that we're looking at is 6v6 plus 1. And now the black team has to go through the black gates, so there's 2 channels on the side, and the red team needs to go through the red gates in order to score. And again, you could put on whatever multiple touches, whatever touch restrictions you want, but the reality of this game is they have to play the ball through the gates, and that forces play through the channel before they can score. And what it also does is it emphasizes rotating the ball, so transition from side to side. So if you notice in all these games, these conditions and rules have a purpose, and in order for the players to figure out the game, they have to figure out, hey, we need to be quick. Now again, we still have side to side to get it through, but now we're going to the end zones again. The only rule is now we're going to build on possession a little bit. You must play into both channels, into a player who's in the channel, before you can attack the end zone. And again, you score on the end zone the same way. A ball into the end zone, once it crosses the line, player runs in and stops the ball. So what this does is it focuses on you have to keep possession in order to hit both channels, and then you can score. Now, you can allow 2 players to go in a channel, and the defending team can only allow 1, and you have a maximum touch restriction of 2 touches when you're in that end zone channel. I hope that shed a little light into cognitive soccer coaching. Basically, what we're doing is we're manipulating the rules, we're changing the conditions to make sure that the players have a new problem to solve. Once they solve the problem, become good at it, we change it. We change the rules, we change the conditions, we change the game. This way, the players are always operating in that space of sweet spot learning. Dopamine is always pumping through the system, and the players remain engaged, and they're always having to problem solve. And this is a big part of cognitive soccer development. Be sure to check out soccersmarttraining.com, the only online cognitive soccer instructor's diploma available on the internet. And be sure to check out my blog at coachdibernardo.com, my YouTube station at Marcus DiBernardo, and also all my books are available on Amazon.com under my Author Central page at Marcus DiBernardo. Thanks for watching.